Four corners. Skeletons inside and out. Claire Daniel. All about skeletons. The skeleton is an important part of the human body and most animals' bodies. It supports the body's weight and gives it shape. The skeleton protects the organs and soft tissue inside the body. It also works with muscles to help the body move. Animals come in all shapes and sizes, and so do their skeletons. Their skeletons allow them to move in many different ways and to do many different things. In this book you can find out about different kinds of skeletons and how they work. This boy's skeleton works with his muscles to help him move in all sorts of ways. When the exoskeleton becomes too small, the crab crawls out of it. It then grows a new one. Skeletons work differently in different animals. In mammals, birds, and many other animals, the skeleton is a framework made of bones inside the skin. A skeleton on the inside of the body is called an endoskeleton. In other animals, the skeleton is a hard covering on the outside of the body. This is called an exoskeleton. The shell of a crab or a beetle is an exoskeleton. Like an endoskeleton, an exoskeleton protects and supports the animal's body. However, some exoskeletons cannot expand as an animal grows. When this happens, an animal must shed its old exoskeleton and grow a new, larger one. A beetle's colorful exoskeleton protects its organs and delicate wings. The human skeleton. Without a skeleton, your body would be floppy and shapeless, like a blob of jelly. You would not be able to stand up, sit down, run or walk. Fortunately, the human body has a skeleton. It is made up of bones that work together with muscles to make movement possible. These bones also protect the body and keep its organs safe. Let's see how parts of the human skeleton work to protect and support the body. Skull, shoulder, rib cage, spine, elbow, hip, knee, foot. Growing bones. Your bones grow as you grow. To grow healthy and strong, your bones need calcium and exercise. Milk, cheese, yogurt, and leafy green vegetables are high in calcium. Your body also needs vitamin D to help it absorb calcium. Try milk and cereals that have vitamin D added to them. What your bones protect. The ribs of the skeleton protect some of the body's most important organs. They form a cage that guards the heart and lungs. These ribs are connected to the sternum. The bones that make up the skull are some of the most important bones in your skeleton. The skull protects the brain. Without protection, even a small bump on the head might affect your thinking, senses, and movements. The jawbone is the only part of the skull that moves. It allows you to open your mouth and chew food. X-ray photo. Sternum, rib. In this X-ray photo, you can see how the ribs curve around the chest. Did you know? There are 206 bones in an adult skeleton. An adult has 12 pairs of ribs that curve around the sides of the chest. The 14 face bones are all part of the skull. The human skull protects the brain and 4 sense organs, the eyes, ears, nose, and tongue. The spine. Your spine holds your body upright when you sit, stand, or walk. It is also called the backbone, but it's not just one bone. The spine is made up of many small bones called spine vertebrae. Because each vertebra can move, the spine is flexible. It allows us to bend in different directions. The vertebrae also protect the spinal cord. The spinal cord, which is inside the spine, contains nerves. These nerves carry information such as sensations from the body to the brain. They also carry commands from the brain to parts of the body. Skull, spine, vertebra. These gymnasts rely on their vertebrae for support. Movement and the spine. Humans walk on 2 legs, so the spine is vertical. Animals that walk on 4 legs have a spine that is horizontal. Many animals that swim, such as fish and whales, also have horizontal spines. Vertical spine, horizontal spine. Twisting and bending. The bones in your body are connected by joints. Joints allow your skeleton to bend, twist, and turn. Some joints, like the ones in your knees and elbows, allow your bones to move back and forth. These joints are called hinge joints. Other joints can move around in a circle. These are called ball and socket joints. There is a ball and socket joint between the first and second vertebrae in your neck. That is why you can twist your head in different directions. Ball and socket joints are also found in your shoulders and hips. Ball and socket joint. Hinge joint. Your bones at work. The longest and strongest bones in the human body are found in the legs. Leg bones carry your weight as you stand, walk, run, and jump. Humans move on 2 legs, which frees the arms to perform other tasks. The many bones in your hands make it possible to pick a flower or hold tightly onto a rope. You can grasp and grip because you have opposable thumbs. This means the thumb can move freely and touch the tips of your fingers. Humans are able to do many things most animals cannot, such as using knives and forks or brushing their teeth, because of opposable thumbs. An opposable thumb helps humans hold many things. A runner uses different bones and joints to go from kneeling to running. Mammal and bird skeletons. Like humans, animals such as cats, whales, and bats are mammals. They have skeletons that help them move and survive. The size and shape of mammal skeletons vary. That is why mammals move in different ways. For example, cat skeletons are built for walking and climbing. Their spine bends easily. As a result, cats can reach every part of their body to clean themselves. Unlike cats, whale skeletons are built for gliding underwater. Whales have muscles that move their lower spine up and down in a wave-like movement. They also move their tail fins up and down to push themselves forwards. Cat skeleton. Killer whale. Whale skeleton. Chimpanzees' arms are longer than their legs. Chimpanzees, like cats and most mammals, walk on all fours using their arms and legs to balance. Instead of paws, they have hands with fingernails and opposable thumbs. Like humans, chimpanzees are able to pick up many different things with their hands. They even have opposable big toes on their feet. That's why chimps are so good at climbing and swinging. Chimpanzee skeleton, elephant's leg bones are strong, yet lightweight because of the spongy bone inside. African elephant. Elephants have thick, strong leg bones and flat toe bones that hold up their huge bodies. They also have strong neck vertebrae to support their heavy heads. This support allows elephants to reach out their trunks to drink, grasp food, and spray water over their bodies. Giraffes are the tallest mammals in the world. They have long, thin legs that support their bodies and long necks. Giraffes' necks are also very flexible. That's why they can eat off the ground or from the tops of trees. Giraffes can grow to a height of 5.5 meters. A giraffe's neck can be up to 2 meters long. Did you know? The giraffe has 7 neck vertebrae, the same number as a human. The giraffe's vertebrae are just bigger than ours. A horse's skeleton is built for running. Horses have long, strong leg bones. Large muscles connect the leg bones to other bones in a horse's skeleton. The muscles have room to flex, which gives horses the ability to powerfully move their front and back legs. The kangaroo, another mammal, has an amazing ability to jump. Kangaroos' skeletons are designed to stay fairly upright as they jump along. Their long back feet and tail help them balance. A kangaroo's skeleton is designed for jumping. Bats, which are mammals, share many of the same features as birds, which are not mammals. Bats and birds look different on the outside. However, both have bones that are strong and light. This is so that they can easily lift their bodies off the ground to fly. Bats' wings are made of skin that is stretched over 4 long finger bones. Bats also have many small bones and joints in their feet that help them grasp and hang onto a perch. That's why they can hang upside down while they sleep. Bats are the only flying mammals. Bat skeleton. Thumb. Skull. Rib cage. Arm bones. Hip bone. Spine. Knee. Finger bone. Foot. Did you know? Unlike our thumbs, most bats' thumbs have a single claw. The claw is used for climbing, crawling, or holding food. Birds vary in their appearance. Their skeletons also vary depending on the kind of bird. Most bird skeletons are, however, made up of many hollow bones. The bones may also contain tiny air sacs to keep them light. Birds have beaks for eating and grasping food. They also have a large sternum or breastbone. This holds their powerful wing-flapping muscles in place. Eurasian jay. Bird skeleton. Beak, neck vertebrae. Skull. Arm bones. Finger bones. Knee. Sternum. Foot. Spine. Rib cage. Hip bone. Reptile and amphibian skeletons. Reptiles and amphibians have endoskeletons like mammals. Their endoskeletons help them move around on land and sometimes in the water. Reptiles and amphibians also have skulls and spines, and most have legs and tails. Crocodiles are reptiles. They have strong jawbones and teeth built for gripping prey of all sizes. Short, sturdy leg bones make them quick on land. Almost half of crocodiles' vertebrae are in their long, thick tails. They use their tails as powerful paddles to move quickly through water. Exploring fossils. The bones of animals from the past can tell us a lot about how they lived. In ancient rocks, scientists have found fossils of reptiles, such as dinosaurs, that have long been extinct. To learn how they lived, scientists compare ancient bones to bones of animals living today. Crocodile fossil. Crocodiles are fast on land and in water because of their strong skeletons. Amazing turtles. Turtles and tortoises are remarkable reptiles because they have both endoskeletons and exoskeletons. Their hard shells are exoskeletons that protect their soft internal organs and the internal endoskeleton. These animals can hide their heads and limbs inside their hard shells when frightened by a predator. Tortoise skeleton. Snakes are also reptiles. Snakes do not have arms or legs, so they depend on their many tiny, flexible vertebrae to move. Their vertebrae allow them to move in many different directions. A large snake can have up to 400 vertebrae in its backbone, with a pair of ribs attached to almost every one. Snake skeleton. Skull. Neck vertebra. Rib. Trunk vertebra. Tail vertebra. Red spitting cobra. Amphibians, such as frogs and toads, have an endoskeleton that helps them move in and out of water. A frog's endoskeleton helps it to push up off its strong, springy back legs. Frogs do not have ribs. This allows frogs to land on their chests without breaking any bones. Another amphibian, the salamander, has a strong, bony endoskeleton. A salamander's skeleton and well-developed muscles help it move easily, both on land and in the water. To move fast, a salamander sways its body. To leap, it flexes and straightens its tail. Did you know? The salamander has a special way to escape attacks. It can detach its tail when another animal grabs it and run to safety. The attacker is left with only a tail. Tiger salamander. Frog skeleton. Finger bone. Skull. Arm bone. Spine. Leg bone. Hip. Vertebra. Toe bone. Strong leg muscles and webbed feet give a frog power to jump from place to place. Sea creature skeletons. Sea creatures have different kinds of skeletons. Some, such as fish, have endoskeletons with ribs and spines. Others, such as crabs, have hard exoskeletons. Sea creature endoskeletons. Most kinds of fish have endoskeletons made of bone. The skeleton of a fish is simple, with a skull, a spine, and ribs. The fish's sleek shape helps it move quickly through the water. Muscles pull on each side of the spine, bending the fish's body and tail from side to side, pushing it forwards. Thin bones help the fish balance, steer, and move along. Carp. The skeleton of a carp is fairly simple, yet it has many bones. Some kinds of fish, such as sharks and rays, have skeletons made of cartilage instead of bone. Cartilage is a strong, flexible tissue. Part of your nose is supported by cartilage. The great white shark's spine is made of cartilage. It stretches from the tip of its tail to the base of its skull. Each fin has rods of firm but flexible cartilage, which help it keep its shape. The fins help a shark dive through the water and change direction quickly. They also keep a shark from rolling over. Did you know? Some rays, like the blue-spotted ray, are poisonous. Other rays are gentle creatures. Rays look like they are flying when they flap their wide fins to swim. Shark's jaw. Both the shark's upper and lower jaws move forwards to grab its prey. Great white shark. Sea creature exoskeletons. Sea creatures with exoskeletons often move differently from those with endoskeletons. A starfish, for example, has an exoskeleton that is not very flexible. It can move because it has tiny tube feet underneath its arms. These feet have suction cups that slowly pull the starfish along. The sea urchin's shell is covered with stiff spines. This exoskeleton defends the sea urchin against creatures that might want to eat it or step on it. Like the starfish, the sea urchin moves on tiny tube feet. Its many spines also help it to move. At the base of each spine is a ball and socket joint. This allows the spines to move in all directions. Did you know? A sea urchin may look like a furry ball, but it is not. The spines on its shell are not like a backbone but are sharp and pointed. Stepping on a sea urchin's exoskeleton can be very painful. Sea urchin. Stiff, movable spines. Starfish. Crabs, lobsters, and prawns are crustaceans. Their hard exoskeleton covers their legs and bodies. As crustaceans grow, they must molt, or shed, their exoskeleton. They grow new exoskeletons to fit their growing bodies. Crustaceans have legs and arms, called limbs. They use most of these limbs to move about. Some crustaceans have pincers, or grasping claws, that they use to defend themselves. Joints connect their limbs and body parts, which makes them flexible. That is why most crustaceans can move easily. Did you know? By the time a lobster lives to old age, it can shed its exoskeleton and grow a new one more than 25 times. Prawns. Red crab. Pacific lobster's old exoskeleton. Pacific lobster. A scallop's exoskeleton is made up of two half-shells that are shaped like fans. These two protective half-shells are held together by a hinge. The hinge is opened and closed by one large muscle. Most of the time, a scallop lies on the ocean floor. It opens and closes its shell quickly to move around. This action forces water out of the shell near the hinge and drives the scallop forwards. Did you know? Some animals, such as jellyfish, don't have skeletons. The water supports their soft bodies, including their organs. Purple jellyfish. Queen scallops. Arachnid and insect skeletons. Spiders and scorpions are not insects but are part of a group of animals called arachnids. Arachnids have two-part bodies and 8 walking legs. Insects, like ladybirds, have bodies with 3 main parts and 6 walking legs. Both insects and arachnids have exoskeletons. The outer covering of their bodies and legs is hard. It protects the soft, inner parts of their bodies. Ladybird. Delicate wing. Hard wing case. This spider's body and its 8 legs are protected by its exoskeleton. Cross spider. Some arachnids' exoskeletons are fierce weapon systems. For example, a scorpion's tail has jointed sections. While the scorpion holds its prey with its pincers, its tail curls up and delivers a deadly sting. A tarantula, another type of arachnid, might look soft and furry, but it still has an exoskeleton. The hard covering over each leg is divided into 7 segments, or parts. This makes the tarantula flexible. As a tarantula grows, it molds its exoskeleton from time to time. Desert scorpion. Jointed tail. Venom stinger. Jaw. Walking leg. Pincer. Tarantula's old exoskeleton. Tarantula. Insects such as beetles are protected by a tough, waterproof exoskeleton. Adult beetles have more of this armor than any other kind of insect. Some even have pointed spikes and horns. All beetles also have hard wing cases that cover their wings. They have to open these wing cases to fly. A beetle takes flight. 1. This beetle is about to fly into the air. 2. The beetle grips the plant while the hard wing cases begin to open. 3. The hard wing cases spread out and the thin, hind wings open and begin to move. 4. The beetle flies into the air. The growth of a damselfly. Young insects change in size and shape as they grow up. Some kinds of young insects, such as young damselflies, dragonflies and grasshoppers, change shape gradually each time they shed their exoskeleton. Young insects like these are known as nymphs. This change in shape is called metamorphosis. 1. The nymph rests on a stem. 2. The nymph grows, and the skin splits. 3. The nymph is now an adult. It breaks free of the exoskeleton. 4. The wings grow longer and expand as the damselfly moves further up the stem. 5. 2 hours later, the adult is now at its full length and can fly. 6. A few days later, the adult damselflies is fully developed. Skeletons all over. You have now had a chance to find out about skeletons, both inside and out. Endoskeletons are inside the body. Exoskeletons are outside the body. Skeletons are very important as they support the body's weight and protect the organs of the body, such as the brain. Skeletons give animals the ability to walk, climb, swim, or jump. A fish's skeleton, for example, gives it the power to swim through water. Without our skeletons, we would not be able to pick up a pen, jump, or dance to music. Glossary. Amphibians. Cold-blooded animals that have a spine and that live on land and in water. Cartilage. A strong, flexible tissue that can form a skeleton or connects parts of the skeleton. Crustacean. An animal that has a hard outer shell and that usually lives in water. Endoskeleton. The firm, supportive and protective structure found inside the body of some animals. Exoskeleton. A hard, outer covering on some animals that provides support and protection. Fossils. Bones, teeth and other remains of animals or remains of plants that lived long ago. Joints. Mammals. Any of the places where 2 bones come together. Warm-blooded animals that have a spine and fur or hair. Mammal mothers produce milk for their young. Metamorphosis. The process through which some animals change in size and shape from birth to adulthood. Skull. The bony framework of the head that protects the brain. Spine. Backbone, also a thin, sharp-pointed part that projects from some animals or plants. Sternum. A long bone in the chest that connects to the ribs and bones in the shoulders, also called a breastbone. Vertebrae. Singular, vertebra, the small bones that make up the spine.